Hey, what's up, guys? This Whitetail Minute, I wanted to talk about something that I've harped on numerous times, but you know what? I could probably make this Whitetail Minute every single month, every single year, for a dozen more years, and there's always going to be more people that need to hear it. The number one obstacle, the number one above all else to make your property successful, no matter what the plan is, no matter what seed you're putting in the ground, no matter what chainsaw brand you're using, no matter what broadhead you shoot, no matter what you believe your wood should be, whether you believe in hinging or not, whether you believe in switchgrass or not, whether you believe in natives or not, invasives or not, I don't even care. None of that matters first and foremost. If once you decide to start making your property better, it does not matter. None of that matters if you don't do this. Control you. You. Control the human presence, the human intrusion factor of it all. If you cannot control yourself, you will never have a property that achieves the goals that you want. Most likely, unless your goal of your property, which this is probably not the case if you're watching and viewing and consuming what I produce on Small Acre Hunting. But if your goal is to merely have a recreational piece that you can do with what you want, you can visit, you can mushroom hunt, turkey hunt, hike, camp, do all those things. Now, if you have a very big piece of property, maybe you can do that. But if you don't, and you're like me and you own a small piece, or maybe you only own 40 acres or 50 acres, like you don't have the ability to do all those things and not have it impact your goals when it comes to whitetail deer hunting, especially if your goal involves upping the quality of bucks that you're harvesting. You just can't do it. I've shared the story that you leave behind, Whitetail Minute. Every single time that we step on a property, every single time that a boot touches the ground, we are leaving a story behind for the deer to have to interpret. How they interpret it, we don't have control over. So you have to consider your activity and your entrance and exits the whole time. If you don't have good entrance and exits, if you don't have a good control plan for yourself, you have to be willing to lower your expectations and lower your goals. And that's fine, but you just have to be willing to live with that. Don't continue to pretend that you're chasing something or that you're being something or that, it's just because, I don't have the money to do that, or I don't have the property location to do that. If you are the main hurdle, you truly cannot measure your property on whether it can be successful or not if you haven't eliminated you as the biggest hurdle. And what I mean by that is, so I have a lot of friends that, maybe they own 20, 30, 40 acres, okay? And they constantly have excuses to why they're not producing chances, not even necessarily putting bucks on their wall, but chances at mature deer that fit their category. They're blaming the neighbors. They're blaming their location, their property area and such. And I'm like, well, let's talk about it. Let's look at what you're doing. What are you considering when you head out to hunt? What are you considering when you're there? Are you eliminating your son driving four-wheelers through the entire property at all times of the year? There's all these questions. And as you begin to unpack it, you begin to realize, okay, you want this in the fall. You want to have big bucks using your property, but nothing that you're doing the rest of the year is matching up with that goal. Or you really have the goal, you are controlling intrusion, but yet when it comes to actually hunting, your entrance and exits are the worst imaginable because you won't give up hunting that favorite stand of yours. But it's in a terrible location, you can't get to it without intruding, and you got to be willing to hunt elsewhere. We got to be willing to play the long, good game than the short, bad game that's going to destroy your property. I've rambled long enough. This Whitetail Minute went a little bit longer than normal, but it's something that I think every single person has to hear. And if you have to remind yourself, I live with a reminder every day on my wrist. And I don't have time to talk about it, but it says I am second. It's a reminder. Don't be so prideful. Have a little humility. If you have to constantly remind yourself that you need to stay out of your own way, then do it. Figure out a way. replay this Whitetail Minute, do whatever you have to do. If you want your goals to be this, and you don't want to downgrade them, then you've got to be willing to control you. This is Ty. God bless, and good luck out there.